All right, guys, so you are going to do a DeltaMath assignment today. So I just wanted to go over a couple of the problems that you're going to be looking at. One thing that we haven't really talked a lot about that I wish we had before now is how to write an equation from a table. So we've already talked about how to figure out the rate of change, but we haven't really talked about how to put all that together for an equation. Now, when they give you the x value of 0, they make it pretty easy on you because we know our y-intercept is what y is when x is 0. F of x, anytime you see x and then f of x, you can think of that as a y. They're kind of interchangeable. As you get higher in math, they take away the y and they start using the f of x. This is hard to say. But anyway, all right, so don't forget your equations are in the form y equals mx plus b. So when they give you x equals 0, the y value is your y-intercept. So our y-intercept on this particular problem is 0. And then we're going to do the change in y over the change in x. So remember the x2 minus x1 divided by, I'm sorry, did I say x? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So if we call this x1, this would be x2, y1, y2, and you can use literally any points on the graph. It doesn't matter. So my change in y would be 4 minus 2, and my change in x would be 2 minus 1. So 4 minus 2 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, and 2 divided by 1 is 2. So that's my rate of change or my slope. So my equation is y equals 2x plus 0. And really, we'd never write plus 0. So our whole equation would be y equals 2x. So that's the first one. All right, let's look at the next one. So once again, they give us x equals 0. So we know our y-intercept is 0, right? Something times x plus 0. So now we're going to do our change in y. I like to use positive numbers when I can. So I'm going to do my change in y over my change in x. So 0 minus 6, and then 0 minus 3. So 0 minus 6 is negative 6. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. So I actually have the same exact equation. Y equals 2x for the second one. Okie dokie. So even though they use different x values, except for 0, all the x values are different, we do get the same equation. So basically you're multiplying. Uh-oh, it should be negative 2. What did I do? Oh my goodness, I did what I tell you guys not to do. I dropped my negative sign. Oh, what a disaster, you guys. I almost moved on and didn't notice that. So 0 minus negative 3, that's such a common, mistake, and I just made it. So when you see minus a negative, do bam, bam. So now we have negative 6 divided by positive 3, which is in fact negative 2x. So my answer is y equals negative 2x. Because I was about to say, one way you can always check your answer is if you plug in these x values and make sure you get the right y values. So if x were negative 3, does negative 3 times negative 2 equal positive 6? Yes, it does. Does positive 3 times negative 2 equal negative 6? Yes, it does. So always go back and check your answer, okay? I'm sorry I messed you guys up. All right, now here is another one. Once again, they give us the y-intercept because they gave us x equals 0. So we don't know our slope yet, but we know our y-intercept is plus 1. So go ahead and pause me and see if you can figure this out. All right, so did you guys do your change in y over your change in x? So negative 7 minus negative 11 over negative 4 minus negative 6. So we're going to do bam, 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 bam. So from -7 to +11, so that's going to be a change of, oh, it's going to be actually, what, 4? Yeah, 4, +4. And then -4 combined with +6 is 2. So we end up with +2x. Goodness, we like these 2's, don't we? 2x plus 1. Is that right? So if I plugged in the value of -6, I'd get 2 times -6 plus 1 is -11. And that is true because -12 plus 1 is -11. So we'll try one more. What about my -2? So 2 times -2 plus 1. So I have -4 plus 1, and I should get -3, and I do. So I know my answer is correct. All righty. All right. So hopefully you're being ambitious and you're stopping my video, and you're trying these on your own. Now this one is like, oh, wait a minute, I don't know what the y-intercept is because it doesn't give me x equals 0. I agree with you. However, we could figure out quickly what the y-intercept is by figuring out what the value of y is when x is 0. So our pattern from the bottom to top is -1, -1, -1. So the next one would be right in line with my pattern. And so here from bottom to top, I'd be +1, +1, +1. So I can quickly figure out that when x is 0, y is 5. So there's my y-intercept. So y equals something x plus 5. And now I can do my y2 minus y1 over my x2 minus x1. So 1 minus 2 is -1. 4 minus 3 is +1. -1 divided by 1 is -1. So -1x. -1 times x is -x. So that's my equation. So we're going to check our answers. Pick at least 2 points to check your answers. So what if x were 2? The opposite of 2 is -2. So the opposite of 2, that's what this is saying, the opposite of x, well, the opposite of 2 is -2 plus 5. That would be 3, and that's what it tells me I should get. And then what about the opposite of x? So the opposite of 4 is -4, and -4 plus 1 is 5. -4 plus 5 is 1, and that's what it says I should get. So that is correct. All righty, you guys try these 4. And then I'll do them all, but I want you guys to try all 4 of these and see how you do. All right, so on this one, once again, our pattern's going -1, -1, -1, 0. Here we have a difference of 3, -3, -3, and then -3 would be 5. So once again, our y-intercept is +5. So then I'm going to do the change from 17 to 14 is -3. Or you know what? You can always go this way also. I could do from 14 to 17 is +3, and from 3 to 4 is +1. So my equation is 3x plus 5. All right, let's plug in and make sure we get it right. Well, 2 times 3 is 11. I mean, no, it's not. 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 plus 5 is 11. That one's right. And then let's try 4. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 plus 5 is 17. So I know where that one's right. All right, we're going to find out when x is 0, y is 4. So there's our y-intercept. And then to get from 5 to 6, we add 1. And to get from 1 to 2, we add 1. So our slope is +1. And 1 times x is x, 1x. So my equation is 1x plus 4. So try some problems. Plug in 2. Does 2 plus 4 equal 6? And does 4 plus 4 equal 8? Yes. All right, the next one is a little bit more difficult to find the y-intercept, but we see that these numbers are, well, let's just look at these two right here. So from 86 to 56 is 30. From 56 to 36 is minus 20. These numbers are, this would be what? Minus 5. This is minus 6. This is minus 3. This is minus 2. This would be minus 50. This would be minus 60. This would be minus 30. So at first you might think, oh, this isn't even a linear equation, but it is, because if we divide 50 by 5, negative 50 by negative 5, we get 10. Negative 60 divided by negative 6 is 10. So the rate of change is 10. So our our slope is 10. Okay, because I got that by doing my change in y over my change in x. So let's see what would happen. So if we go down by 2 more, that would be 2. This decrease would be by 20. So that would be 16. And then if we went down 2 more, we'd have 0. If we went down 20 more, we would have negative 4. So that was a little tricky to find, but if you use your pattern, so my last pattern was minus 2, so then I still did not minus 2. This would be minus 20, this would be minus 20, and I got my negative 4. So make sure it works. For example, let's plug in 10 times 4. 10 times 4 is 40, and 40 minus 4 is 36, that's right. And then 6 times 10 is 60, and 60 minus 4 is 56. So that one was a little harder, but when you get to your DeltaMath, I don't think any of them are going to be that complicated. But if it is, you know how to do it. All right, now this is a vertical X and Y chart, so we could rewrite it. I meant horizontal. We could write it vertically if we wanted to. But based on the pattern, it's easy to see that the next value would be 0, which is what we're looking for, correct? And these are decreasing by 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. Excuse me, these are not minus 2. These are all increasing by 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So our y-intercept is 0. So what is our slope? Well, we could do our change in y over our change in x. So our y is increasing by 2. Our x is increasing by 1. So my equation is 2x again. And look, like, wasn't this one 2x? No, this one was negative 2x. This one was 2x. So the only common ordered pair they have is this, but still. But just double check your answer. Is negative 4 times 2 negative 8? Is negative 3 times 2 negative 6? Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let's look at some more of your problems. So here, I know you guys hate these. I'm so sorry, but it's good to be able to, if you can make your own graph, then you can definitely interpret one, right? Alex, so look at our our x-axis is time. Our y-intercept is distance from home. So if we're 0 blocks from home, that means we're at home. So 0 in this situation is going to equal home. Alexander left his house at time 0 and drove 8 minutes. So from here to 8 minutes at the speed of 1 block every 4 minutes. So in 4 minutes, he gets 1 block from home. So 4 minutes, he gets 1 block from home. That means 4 more minutes, he's 2 blocks from home. So this is our first part of our graph. Oh my goodness, I am so bad at straight lines. I know I've said that 100 times. So 4 minutes, 8 minutes. Then he stopped. His distance stopped. Does time ever stop? No. But he stopped and he went in the store for 7 minutes. Sorry about that. All right, so for 7 minutes, so from minute 8 to 7 minutes, we're at minute 25. I meant not 25, 15. Sorry, I can't do math in my head. All right, so he did not increase his distance for 7 minutes. And then it says, from there, he drove in the same direction at a speed of 1 block per minute until he got to the bank, which is 2 blocks away from the store. He stopped at the bank for 2 minutes. Then he drove home at a speed of 2 blocks every minute. Okay, what does it say? He stopped and went into the store for 7 minutes. All right, so he's at the store, which looks like it is 2 blocks from his house, right? From there, he drove in the same direction at a speed of 1 block per minute until he got to the bank, which is 2 blocks from the store. Well, if the bank is 2 blocks from the store, that means it takes him 2 minutes to get there. So here is where he would be in 2 minutes, right here. At 17 minutes, he would be 3 blocks from home. Or he should be 4 blocks from home. Oh, it's 2. So 1, yeah, I didn't go up high enough. There we go. Yeah, some of these you have to read more than one time, right? So 17 minutes, he is 4 blocks from home. He stopped at the bank for 2 minutes. So even though his distance isn't increasing, time continues to increase all the time. We can't stop time. Can't stop time. Oh my goodness, this thing is driving me crazy. All right, so then he drove home at a speed of 2 blocks every minute. So from here, he's got to go 2 blocks a minute. So from here, he goes 1 right there, 2. So at 21 minutes, he gets back home. Okay, so my lines are horrible and they don't look straight, so it's kind of hard to read it. But just make sure your time, your minutes, and your blocks are matching each other, okay? All right. All right, what's next? So the equation table below represents Nathaniel's earnings in dollars and Y cents for working X hours. Find the rate of change. So how do we get from 33 to 99? So it would be 99 minus 33. 99 minus 33 is 66. 66, and then our change in X is plus 4. Positive 4, and then we can divide both of those by 2. So I get 33 over 2, or half of 33 is 16.5. So he is making $16.5 per minute. All right, so make sure that's true. If he worked 10 hours, is 10 times 16.5 165? Yes. Is 14 times 16.5 231? Yes, it is. So that is our answer. Okay, and if you know it's proportional, which we don't always know it's proportional, but if we know it's proportional, all you have to do is divide the money by the hours, and that would get you your unit rate. But you can always do how I did it here, the change in Y over the change in X, you're going to get the same answer. All right, so here you also have to figure out the slope of the line by looking at a graph. So you're going to find, I always go with my y-intercept, and then you want another corner. So you see how that's going straight through that corner right there? Or is it? No, it isn't. It's just above that corner, isn't it? That's above the corner. That one is, that one is, that one is. It looks like this one right here goes straight through a coordinate. All right, this one does for sure, doesn't it? Right here. So let's make sure we get the same numbers. So the rise is 1, 2, 3, 4. The run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we did it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, I'm sorry, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that would be our next coordinate. So The slope is 4/5, but the last thing you do is make sure you check to see if it's positive or negative, and it's negative. So, -4/5. So this one is just like looking at a table. They give you two ordered pairs. You're going to do the change in y over the change in x. So we're going to do our change in y. So -17 minus -2 over our change in x. We'll do 24 minus 4. Hey, I'll call you right back. Sorry, guys. 24 minus 4. So we're going to do bam, bam. And then that's a negative 15 over positive 20. So if I divide both of those by 5, I get -3/4. So that is my slope. All right, now on this one, this is a little confusing because it already has dots in places, but they're not right. At least one of them isn't right for sure. So you have to move them. You're going to click and drag them to be where your X and Y intercepts are. So remember when we do our X intercept, we're gonna make Y equal 0. And the opposite is true. When we do a Y intercept, we're gonna make X equal 0. All right, so when y is 0, we get -2x. So 5 times 5 times 0 is 0. So basically that goes away, equals 15. And then when I divide 15 by -2, my x-intercept is -7.5. So it's -7.5 when y equals 0. So you really need to figure out what 7.5 is as a decimal. 7/5 is 7 divided by 5 is 1.4, because you have to literally graph 1.4. You can easily graph 1.4, but not easily graph -7/5 if you don't know what the value is. So you're going to take this red dot and you're going to pull it over here to not -1, not -2, but almost halfway in between them. Okay. And then the y-intercept is going to make x 0. So 2 times 0 is 0. So we have, if that goes away, we'll only have 5y equals 15. And then when we divide both sides by 15, we find out our y-intercept is 3. So when x is 0, y is 3. So we're going to bring this dot down. We're going to click and drag it right there. And then it'll make that line for you. That's a positive, it's a positive slope, which is correct. And that's how you do that section. Okay, I think that's the last one, is it? Yep. All right, you guys, so hopefully that helps you with your DeltaMath. If you need any more help, let me know and I will help you out, guys. Have a good day.